Don't go in there. They're having the let's try to figure out what customers want meeting again. It's gotten a little weird.
Signups are strong, but adoption of key features remains stagnant. What do you do?
We gotta merge that PR. Yeah, we have to. That's our only choice. Okay. We cast merge on the PR for the new dashboard. Oh no.
Your actions have caused the company to go viral for the wrong reason.
God.
Oh no, what do we do?
Roll for initiative.
I can't. No.
New features shouldn't be left to a roll of the dice. Use DevCycle to ship with low risk and instant rollbacks. Unrolls, re-rolls. How do we make this into a dice pun?
Oh, hello there, Internet. Hello, Kate. How's it going today?
Good. How are you, Andrew?
I'm doing fantastic. It's Friday. It's a long weekend Friday. Yeah, it's a good day. And this has just been like a super stream week for me. Like, I think I'll hit 10 hours of streaming this week on the DevCycle channel. So, yeah. Any big plans for this long weekend we've got coming up?
Nothing crazy for me. It looks like it's gonna be nice on Sunday, so I feel like I'll be hosting a little barbecue, and then that'll turn into a House of Dragon watch party. So,
hey, there you go.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, now I feel like it needs to become a House of Dragon watch party because I haven't started the new season yet.
Okay, it's pretty good. I'm into it. Let's do it. Yeah. Are you
So
team black or team greens?
Oh, I don't even know which teams they are now. I have not rewatched because it's been 2 years, right?
Yeah, it's been 2 years, and I
It's
don't
been
think we'll get another season. Yeah, for another 2 years, I think. But they're still filming this year, so hopefully it'll be faster. But yeah, it's been a while. I know I had to watch like a recap emergency awesome video before.
Yeah, 100%. I will say one of the only reasons that I watch, not the only reason, I love Game of Thrones, but one of the main reasons I watch is I'm a huge Matt Smith fan, but like Doctor Who Matt Smith, and The Crown Matt Smith, and so like that man is a chameleon, and so when I was like, oh, Matt Smith and his son are in this, gotta watch that, and it did not disappoint. But yeah, I definitely have to rewatch and get caught up and figure out which team I'm on.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. There are a lot of parallels between Matt Smith's like Crown character as the prince, and then in this one too, he has to support his queen. So.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
So welcome to the stream, everybody. If you are just hopping in now, this is not the House of Dragon stream, although there's a future for developer entertainment content, but that's not what we're here for. We are here, Kate and I, for Feature Focus, which is the monthly changelog stream here at DevCycle HQ, wherever you're watching on YouTube or Threads or whatever, wherever we stream, wherever you're catching this, where we talk about the recent releases on our platform. And we're a feature management platform, so we're constantly rolling out new features all the time. Yeah, this is just sort of our video way of sharing that with you, our awesome DevCycle community. Excuse me, so you can find out what's new and ask us questions about it, and see it in real time, and sometimes get a preview of things to come. So speaking of things to come, what do we have on our show today, Kate? What are we highlighting today on Feature Focus?
So today we'll be going through the Open Feature Multi-Provider, which is super exciting. It's our first contribution back to the Open Feature community, which we love to be a part of. And yeah, we've probably mentioned before, but Jonathan's on the board, our CTO, so really cool kind of initiative there. And then we're also going to be going through the web debugger. Basically, it's a really cool QA kind of testing tool, and I'll be walking you through that, what it looks like on our actual DevCycle instance, which is kind of fun. It's a new feature in beta, so I don't think we've posted about it, or we might have recently, but yeah, it's quite a new one that we're excited about. And then I think, Andrew, you're going to preview a little marketing site sandbox stuff. So very cool.
And I've realized that I was on the worst microphone in the world. I was on like my headset microphone. And I was like, I have a feeling that my computer. So now I've switched to the good mic. So I think we're good to go. Lots of stuff. Really, really cool things. We've talked about a lot of these a little bit, but now is the time for us to really show them off. And yeah, so if you're watching and you've got questions about any of this stuff, or you want access to any of this stuff, the great thing is if you are a user of the DevCycle platform and say you're like, oh, I want to get access to like a beta feature or something that you see, we're the people to ask, because we use feature flags, and therefore we can add you in sometimes to some of these features. So if you see anything, but I think all the stuff we're talking about today, except for the marketing site sandbox, are live in production right now that you can actually go and check out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through all these, everybody, if you're watching. And at the end of the stream, we're going to be doing a giveaway. So stick around to the end of the stream if you want to find out how to do that, or go back and watch a previous Feature Focus stream and you'll realize what you need to do. We always like to give away free money. And so if you're here, if you're watching, you can potentially win a $20 gift card for whatever place you'd like to win a $20 gift card for. All right, so we are going to kick things off now with, I think we're going to start with a web debugger, right, Kate?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, cool. So let me share my screen and we can walk through it, what it looks like on share screen. Management. Okay, cool. So y'all should be able to see my screen. Okay, cool. So I'm just in a demo project, but basically what the web debugger is, it allows you to see, like, basically DevCycle users to see the current state of the variables, features, and basically be able to use self-targeting in this context to override those said like variables or variations that you're serving yourself. And also see the stream of live events that come through as you're changing things within your preview environment. So right now, you can see that I'm in the preview environment for DevCycle. I'm logged in, as well as I have access to self-targeting, live configuration, view events. So yeah, we're really loving this feature, specifically me as a product manager, but me and like QA and all of our engineers alike have been using this and playing around with it. So I'll show you quickly like how, maybe we'll do live configuration first. So live configuration will basically show you your current like DevCycle identity or user ID that you're logged in with, that affects kind of what you're actually receiving in terms of feature flags. We just have user ID and email out of the box kind of properties, user properties, but we can also add those because it's in beta. We can see what people need if you guys want to change like country, for example, as well, and have that listed. But basically just user ID, email, and then all the custom properties that are associated with that as well. So if I was going to go in here and see, maybe change the developer or the role that I am set to within DevCycle, that might impact basically my experience, my end experience. I can do so. All these changes won't save directly to the user, but basically within this session, you can mock what different custom properties might result in different experience. So you can actually see maybe what like a product management role might change, or whatever role you've set or custom property you've set in your instance or app. Which is pretty neat. And then you can also see within the live configuration view, basically what you're being served for like the feature, as well as the variation and the variables within that and the value there. So it's a little bit more, you can see the actual values for the variables, which we're finding like that's kind of what developers and people who were interested in this feature wanted to see. But yeah, it's pretty neat. That's the live configuration piece. And then I'll do self-targeting and then do view events. But basically self-targeting or view events will show you basically if you update anything, update a variable, come through and see if those events are actually firing. So let me go into self-targeting and play around with an override. So for my personal DevCycle identity, I don't have any active, except for this one, any other active overrides for the preview environment. So basically what we'll show here is any active overrides that you currently have for the environment that we're in right now. So I'm a preview, so I only have this one. These are all the other features that currently I am qualified for within our DevCycle project. But if you don't see anyone that you actually want to put yourself into in this list, or you don't want to go through the entire list, you can also search here as well for a specific one. But yeah, similar to what you can do in dashboard, basically a little bit of a better actually experience in terms of self-targeting is like you have access to flip and change and make overrides without having to navigate within the current flow on the dashboard into each individual feature to put yourself into an override, which is pretty cool. You can do it within one interface, which hopefully we want to bring to the dashboard as well. But I'll show you what it looks like for me to just enable like variation on for dark mode. So I just go and change it to variation on, apply the changes, and then you can see it goes dark mode. But yeah, very cool. Live demo, it's working, which is exciting. But yeah, that's just a really simple like feature that I put my variation, like an override into, but you can see these are all the other active features that we have within DevCycle. Too many, we should clean these up, but
just a couple. It's all right. We got cool things. We got cool things.
Yeah, but it's like we use it internally, which is a lot of fun. So it's pretty neat. And then for the view events, you can see the live events that are coming through. You can see that like the variables were updated for the variable enable dark mode, which is part of that like override feature. So I'm being stored value true now, which is pretty neat. But yeah, so as you change things, update your like live configuration user ID, you'll see events kind of come through as you kind of update and play around with that stuff. But yeah.
I love this. And now you may be out there asking yourself, you're like, oh, I'm on the DevCycle dashboard and I don't see this. So that's because this isn't a thing that you're going to see on our platform. So this is actually a thing that you are going to install in your application. So you would like, let's say you're running a React app. You would actually install this. Am I correct, Kate? And then that's how folks are going to see it. So you would need to obviously control how people are seeing this because you probably don't want an end user seeing it. So you're probably going to wrap your DevCycle debugger like button in a feature flag, which will then be controlled by it's very meta. But that's what's really cool about this is this isn't something that you're going to see on our side. This is something you're going to see on your side. So you, especially if you've got say QA folks or product folks that are working on your application and you're wanting to preview things, maybe they're doing a demo for clients. They literally don't have to even log into the DevCycle platform. They can just go here and kind of do a lot of the work that's there, especially around self-targeting and obviously the live configuration. This is like, I think the coolest part because when you think about, I don't know for you, Kate, but when I think about dashboards are always like the heavy option. Like there's so many things that are in there, but like feature flagging at a core is like really just turning things on or off, right? And so I love that this debugger is kind of doing that. Now, This isn't available because it's only our web debugger. This isn't available in like mobile apps or anything else like that right now, correct?
No, it's just for I think JavaScript and like web. Yeah, for right now, it's just web. But yeah, if you guys want to see it, it's like an iOS app or anything else, like it'd be really cool to kind of get that feedback. But yeah, right now, just web.
Yeah, so let us know. Throw us some notes in chat or throw us some notes over on Discord, and I'll actually have our banner going at the bottom here. If you want to connect with us or touch base with us, you can do it on Discord. But there's so many cool things. So give us feedback about this. We'd love to know if you're using it. Obviously, we can track some of these things on the back end to know who's using things, but we'd love to hear directly from you if you're using this feature. Yeah. So this has been a big project too. Like we've kind of talked about this for a while. What was like the most interesting maybe part of the design process for this? Like what did you find the thing that really sticks with you about having built this out from the product side?
Yeah, I was working with Adam because Adam, one of our kind of chief engineers, he was in charge of this project. But basically, we wanted to make it like familiar, similar to the dashboard, and make the self-targeting piece kind of the forefront of this, and leverage basically the self-targeting kind of functionality that we have within the dashboard, but also improve upon it. So it's cool to be able to access like all the other feature overrides in this view, which you don't get if you're just going to be kind of using self-targeting in individual features in the dashboard. So I think that was fun. And we just basically that functionality only exists within Web Debugger. We obviously want to bring it to the dashboard in the future, but I think designing and playing around with that experience was a little bit interesting. But yeah, it's really neat feature like overall. But yeah, I feel like this is like another iteration of self-targeting too, that we also want to build upon to make it more useful for clients. So we wanted to initially see, and I think there is some feedback when we were talking to clients about this initially, about kind of like setting a DevCycle identity, because right now within the Web Debugger 2, you can kind of alter other custom user properties associated with the identity, which you can't necessarily attach or define or change within self-targeting or the DevCycle identity in the dashboard itself. And so hopefully, I don't have it in preview right now, but basically like right now you only can associate like a certain user ID, but in the future it'd be great it probably would be even more useful if we have more like multiple identities that QA people can assign to this kind of stuff. So instead of having like going into live configuration, updating this all like manually, you could have maybe like our clients could have a drop down of like their favorite like identities or QA user profiles. So one wouldn't have to do it so manually, but that kind of thing is something that we're tossing around when the debugger maybe moves out of beta and we get some more feedback from users. But yeah, sorry, I kind of did a whole long-winded answer.
No, that was what I was hoping for. That is exactly what I was hoping for. If people want to get access to the Web Debugger, because obviously in beta right now, how can they get access to this feature? Is it something that they can reach out to you on Discord and you can add them in, or?
No, it's available right now. Like we have the docs up for everything right now. If I switch tabs, let's see. I'll present the other tab. But we have docs up already for the Web Debugger, and you guys can just install it. Like there's nothing, we don't have to put you into any like early access thing. It's already available. It's just, we wanted to keep it in beta just because it's like one of their newer features, and then we can get some feedback because it's not like maybe fully polished or exactly in the state that we wanted to for kind of a larger release, but we're really amped about it and would love some feedback. But yeah, it's a super simple like installation process too, which is awesome. And yeah, the one thing that I was looking at before too is like you can define what environment it like you want it to show in, like you were mentioning earlier, Andrew. So like by default it's set to development only, right? So but I also have access to it in our preview environment, which is kind of like our staging. So yeah, you can define like who will see it, like what environments basically, which is key, because yeah, you don't want end users seeing it. But yeah, that's basically the Web Debugger in a nutshell.
I love it. And yeah, I mean, this is it, folks. Like, try these things out. We don't know if they work unless you let us know. But also, I love that this is just a like iterative develop. I love I feel like we've been doing this for a while, obviously, but I feel like we've gotten a lot better at this like iterative design process of like, we started with I'm thinking of so when we talked about last time with our audit log, right? Whereas audit log became webhooks, became our Slack integration, and here it's like self-targeting has become our web debugger, will potentially become something else. But we won't know what that something else unless you people that are out there in the world let us know by trying these things out. So please check this out. Find it in the docs. Search for Web Debugger when you go over there, and we'd love to hear your feedback. That's what it's all about. Features are only good if you use them.
I'll throw them in the chat. But yeah.
Awesome. All right. Oh, Let me throw it in here. Hold on. No, you're good. You're good. All right, I threw it in. Threw it in. All right, yeah, so here it is, docs.devcycle.com/extras/web debugger. Check that out. Lots of awesome stuff in there. All right, so we have our web debugger stuff, really cool. And so as you know, if you've watched our streams before, so we have lots of things that we're doing all the time. So we're building out new internal features, but we've also gotten really involved in the open feature community. Jonathan's on the board. I'm a community manager for them. And so we are always looking for ways to give back to the feature flagging community. And it's a weird thing to say that we are literally building features at this point that almost are like for you to not have to work with DevCycle as much. Like we're kind of building features that are just focused on getting you to feature flag. And I think, I don't know about your thoughts on this, Kate, but I feel as though if a company is willing to help you migrate away, that must mean that they have something really good to keep you there.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. And I think it's just cool because I feel like people are like leaning towards just like being part of the open feature community first. And then if they do want like an interface, kind of more user-friendly, like feature flagging tool, it makes it so easy to ever like migrate onto one if the current like open feature like setup doesn't work for them or like they want to expand on it. And also I was thinking about this too the other day when we were chatting with like our sales team and account management. It's like a lot of people have come in like talking about and wanting to hear more about our involvement with open feature, but sometimes it's their first foray into feature flags like as a whole. I think starting with open feature and then maybe exploring or even doing POCs with different like, it would be a really cool POC tool too, internally, if you're evaluating just the concept of feature flags, which I was thinking about, because there's no like time lost, no effort lost if you just start with open feature and then you want to migrate. So if you're looking for a place to start and just play around with feature flags, like I think open feature is the best kind of way to do that in a great community. So
totally. Yeah. So if you don't know what open feature is, we've talked about this before. Let me bump this up. We've talked about this a lot before, but I just want to kind of show you what open feature actually is from a feature flagging standpoint. So this is it. So the idea here is that open feature is a standard, an open standard for feature flagging, which allows for you to set a provider. So think of open feature as like the way that you speak feature flag. And then you can pull in providers, which are vendors. These are things from like language specific SDK providers. So vendors generally build an SDK to communicate with their internal APIs. And historically, you would have a different nomenclature, different language that's used for all the features. So this provider basically is a translator between your SDK and the open feature standard that they're using. And so what you do to use this is you basically install open feature at open feature along with an SDK for your provider in your project. And then you also install the provider. And then you're just kind of setting the provider. So this first line here, what's crazy is like if you say wanted to move from like Launch Darkly, amazing feature flag company, been around forever, and say you want to try a DevCycle, and you're just like, oh, they're new in the space and they're doing some cool stuff. I want to try this web provider thing. All you literally would have to do is just change your provider that's in here. This new my provider. You would just switch this to DevCycle provider, and we have open feature providers in every single one of our languages, SDKs. Like if you can use DevCycle, you can put it into open feature, which is very cool. But here's the catch, here's the rub. Just like Kate said, maybe you're doing a POC, maybe your POC isn't even feature flag, maybe it's like I want to try or maybe you want to do two at once. You don't want to have to like do all of this stuff like you don't want to do, you want to do it what is it, consecutively versus concurrently. Wait, is that right? Which is together? Is that consecutive or concurrent?
Concurrent's together. Consecutively is yeah.
Yeah. So normally you might have to do this consecutively, right? You'll do your POC for DevCycle and then your POC for Launch Darkly. But what if you could do them at the same time? And so this is the newest thing. This is the announcement that we made. Was actually a blog post written by our one and only Emma Willis, who is one of our software developers here on the team, just published this in the blog a couple weeks ago around our open feature multi-provider. And what the multi-provider is this bad boy right here. which is a way for you to use multiple providers. I mean, it's self-explanatory, but the idea here is that, like, let's say you are already using LaunchDarkly, and you want to use DevCycle, but you don't want to completely pull LaunchDarkly out of there, because if your app stops working, then lots of clients get upset. And so you can use the multi-provider, which allows for you to have both in here, which is basically providing you like a backup. But also, if you say want to evaluate, maybe you're wanting to evaluate, say, speed. Who's faster? Is it LaunchDarkly? Is it DevCycle? You can actually do that in here in this multi-provider. So how this really works is it is implementing a specific strategy for flag evaluation. And so you have the first match strategy, where it's looking for the first provider where it actually finds sort of the specific flag information. You've got first successful strategy, and like all of these pieces are very cool. And then comparison strategy, where you can log some of this information. So this is a very cool way, exactly like you said, Kate, I think, to do a POC, to do an introduction to feature flags. It's also like, if you look at feature flags as being the like an emergency off switch for you, like this is almost like having just overkill off switches. You could literally have 7 different feature flags in your code that will allow you to have like every feature flag vendor that's out there. Found your channel. Oh, and so welcome Fat Apollo to the chat. But cool, thanks Fat Apollo. Thanks for dropping in. I love Twitch Roulette, C++ dev. Yeah, we're talking about feature flags. We are DevCycle. DevCycle makes feature flags. This is our monthly changelog stream. So we're just talking about recent releases. I'm Andrew.
I'm Kate.
Kate, and we're just here talking about some cool stuff that's going on. So if you've ever used feature flags and you want to do something different with them, we're just kind of talking about that right now. I love this. I love the idea that you were talking about, though, Kate. Like that idea of POC. Do you think that the multi-provider is going to be like a useful thing in there beyond open feature?
I think it would be like super useful, or beyond. What do you mean by beyond? Like,
yeah, so like open feature itself, like gives you this flexibility. Like, do you think that, like we're talking about like the POCs and support? Do you feel like the multi-provider is kind of the piece for that, or is it just like an extra?
I think it would be if someone's already on LaunchDarkly without using open feature before. I feel like maybe that POC, if they're evaluating another vendor, would be the best. But like I said before, like I think if you're new to feature flagging and you want like an open like source or like option like that, like open feature is such a great starting point, because often even people who want to explore open feature, there's a point maybe within kind of their like software development process or evolution of their team where they want to involve like product managers or something like that, and open feature doesn't really handle for the best like interface component of that. So when you introduce like other features that we have, and LaunchDarkly, for example, has like audiences or groups, cohorts, things like that are kind of tailored towards like other user personas who use feature flagging, that's kind of when it'd be cool to run that POC, but not have to like basically like do everything or invest so much more time in order to like test out different providers, which is cool.
I also kind of love the idea, like I low-key love the idea of people actually having multiple vendors. So like, I like this piece of DevCycle and this piece of LaunchDarkly, and it's not ultimately to even migrate or test anything. It's just like, I love all of these platforms and they give me different things, and I want to take advantage of all of them. And I feel like that just wasn't possible before, because you could technically install DevCycle and you could install, but you'd have to build your own interface for this to happen, to like add both them in there. Like Netlify did this. So if you are new to chat, new to the stream, Netlify is one of our awesome customers. They use DevCycle. So if you use Netlify, you're technically using DevCycle behind the scenes. And they built a similar thing to this as part of their migration journey from another feature flag vendor. And then this kind of, I don't know if it came out of that, but it certainly was like informed by us knowing that this was a thing that people needed to do. But this is the next level to that. So I think it's just so cool. I think it's so cool to have this.
Yeah. And like you said, other like teams can be super fractured and like want different providers even within the same like app or whatever. People are using like feature flags in, like one may prefer vendor over the other. And then in the future may all consolidate in that tech stack. But yeah, it's a cool kind of jumping off point to get your feet wet with feature flagging for sure.
Absolutely. Now, if you're like, Andrew, great, you're talking about this, but I want to see how it works. Stick around, because at 11 o'clock Pacific, 2 o'clock Eastern, so basically immediately after we hang up from this stream, I'm going to be back for Does It Toggle? And I'm going to be trying to add the multi-provider into the Ember.js framework, which may not work. We're going to find out, but we're going to play around with this. So I'm actually going to try and implement this like very soon today. So there's lots of really cool stuff to come, or at least chaotic stuff. There'll be something will happen in an hour or so. But yeah, so this is very cool. You can check it out. It's in the docs now. It's in this blog post here. We did a stream on Wednesday where we looked at this, another stream today. There's going to be some blog content coming out next week, I hope. I'm just finalizing stuff that Adam's written. Yeah, lots of stuff to come. Lots of stuff to come around the multi-provider. We love it. We're here for it. Multi-provider is the future of, I think, implementing feature flags in a really cool way. So that is open features. So we've talked about that. We've talked about our web debugger. It's not been a light month. There's lots of stuff happening, but it's definitely a quieter month. We're in the summer now. We've officially passed the summer solstice, which means the days are getting shorter. So people are wanting to get outside and enjoy the sun while they can. But we know you come to Feature Focus for sneak previews at things too. And so while we'll go through our kind of future feature section in just a second, I do just want to show you something else that we've been working on. And we're not quite sure where this is going to live yet. But it is, actually, before I show you the demo, I also want to highlight our new integrations page. So if you are wondering about integration, so like, does a dev tool integrate with DevCycle? Our new integrations page updated. This is totally up to date. You can see how we integrate with Jira and Terraform and GitLab, Bitbucket, GitHub, VS Code, all these things. Definitely go and check this stuff out over at our integrations page. But the thing that I wanted to show you was our, it's not live on here. Maybe we called it something different, or maybe I might need to go into one of our preview branches. So let me go over to Vercel, see if I can find it. Where are you hiding? Marketing site. Let's look at our recent deployments. By the way, if you're not using Vercel, start using Vercel. Vercel, how do you say it, Kate?
I say Vercel, but I think it is Vercel. I feel like I'm now conditioned to living in Toronto where you really pronounce the second, like Dundas. Like when I came, it was like I said it Dundas, but I guess it's the same kind of complex. Like I say Vercel now, but I think truly it should be Vercel.
All right, here we go. So this is our new sandbox, demo, playground, whatever you want to call it. This is our new thing that is coming out really soon. And basically, if you've used DevCycle before, if you've onboarded to us in the last little while, you'll know that there's sort of an onboarding step-by-step process that introduces you to kind of how our system works in this language of variable, variation, switching, targeting rules, stuff like that. And so what we wanted to do was to give you a way to experience that without having to sign up for an account, / to skip over doing that tutorial once you're in. And so this new page, it's going to be coming out live soon, gives you a way to work through that. So you have two options here. You can kind of follow through the instructions, which will explain everything, or you can dismiss this modal and just kind of go in here and test things out. And so we can set this to surprise, and we can set it to true, and I can change my variation to example. And then you're going to see here, like it changes it in real time. And this is actually how DevCycle is working behind the scenes. So this is how you set up our client and how you actually set the variables in here. So just kind of a really simple representation of exactly what this looks like. And you can go in here and change it to different variations. You can see here our spin variation is toggle but speed slow, toggle but wing false, and we can change it to base. And so this is, if you've tried the platform, if you've gone in and you've done the onboarding recently, this is just a way for you to get introduced to it. And we want you to be able to do that in a really fun and easy way that doesn't require you to put your email address in, because not everybody wants to put their email address in everywhere. So yeah, that's our DevCycle demo sandbox. We're still figuring out what we're going to call it, but it's something worth checking out. So, speaking about things to check out, at any time, you can head over to the DevCycle. Oh, this is the right roadmap. I think it is. It is. Anytime that you're looking to find out what is on our roadmap, the great thing is we actually have it published in our docs at any given point in time. So if you head over to docs.devcycle.com and then you scroll down in the sidebar to roadmap, or if it's collapsed, then you can just kind of see it. It appears at the bottom here. It's going to bring you over to our roadmap of things that are happening. It also gives you our change log. So if you're like, I don't really want to listen to Kate and Andrew all the time, there's places to see it that's not hanging out with us. But roadmap is really where you can have your voice heard, because we've got features in here. You can upvote, you can submit feedback or ideas. This all goes through to our product team. Kate and Kobe, our chief product officer, will review these and they'll sort of prioritize them in our list. What's the thing that you're most excited about that's coming up in the next little while, Kate?
Well, I'm biased because obviously my team is working on approval workflows and it'll be exciting. It's mostly like, obviously, I think more like an enterprise large routine feature, but regardless, it kind of turns making like changes to a feature kind of follow like a GitHub approval workflow, which is kind of neat. So, and you can only put it like for certain environments. So like if anyone's making a change to a production, like something like a production level kind of flag, you can basically like get someone else to review the changes if you want like another set of eyes on it, and not necessarily like adding friction, but like just if you want to have someone review it and then like commit it or merge it or whatever type of thing. So I'm excited for that because I do feel like even though it's an enterprise focused feature, it is useful, and I think we're playing around with it right now. It's in beta, or like in beta in terms of like our internal beta, but it should be live probably in like the early access thing in terms of like a if you guys want to be involved, like message us if you want early access to it, but we should be putting it live kind of soon, at least for our beta customers. But I'm personally excited about that. Otherwise, I know the Vercel integration into the toolbar is really exciting as well. I don't know if it's there, but like I guess config. But also, I think down below it's like the toolbar support. To be a provider for that alongside some of the other providers, I'm amped for that because we use Vercel internally. So I think it'll be neat to leverage that. And then, the second one that we're going to be working on as a team after approval workflows is to starts with and ends with, or no, actually it's alternate key bucketing. So up a little bit. And that we have a lot of B2B customers, which I was surprised by. And we also are a B2B or a SaaS company. So we have a need to basically target and do rollouts by an organization basis versus a user or like any entity. Like, so this gives you the option to use a different kind of key for bucketing and rollouts. So instead of users, if you're doing like a gradual rollout, you don't want like random users within the same org to be like have a feature turned on for them and someone off. So in this way, in this case, like with this feature, you'll be able to like do a gradual rollout by organization. So gradually roll out to an entire organization to the next organization versus users within that. So I think a lot of our clients will find that useful and they want to do like those types of kind of rollout scheduling functionality as well with their features.
100%. And I mean, I think you can see it, right? Like 21 upvoted, 23, like there's a lot of upvotes on here. Like I'm feeling really good about this. And I think like the cool piece about I think this new roadmap versus our old roadmap was it's just so much easier, I think, for you to get to have your say. So go in here, click on these things you'd like to see. Check them out. We really want to do that. Obviously, another thing that's going to be in the pipeline coming up soon, stale flag stuff. This is a big deal. And if you've used feature flags in a project before, you'll know lifecycle management is a huge thing. We've really taken the mantle that like DevCycle is a tool for developers to like use flags effectively, and part of that is us helping with lifecycle stuff, and there's lots of features we've talked about on previous versions of this stream. But the big piece with this is you need all of these additional kind of tools in there. And so we're looking at building in this stale features reminder. If you've used ConfigCat, you've probably received these before. So you would get like an email from ConfigCat being like, you haven't used this flag or it hasn't been evaluated in X amount of time. So this is kind of going to be our take on this idea of stale flag reminders. So I think this is going to be a big deal. This will be another one of your teams. Yeah, Kate?
Yeah. I think it'll be me. Yeah, it'll be me or Kobe's, but I do think it'll probably be Fall on Core, to be honest. So like our team. So hopefully, yeah, we'll crush it in the next quarter, or like start it, because all the scoping I think is done. So, or most of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get up.
Did somebody requested a Roku SDK? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't Roku like the box?
Yeah, it's the TV. Because I feel like because the iOS and Android apps like for like Amazon like Fire TV is just like Android, I think, and then Apple TV is just the iOS SDK, but Roku is its own thing.
Really?
Yeah. So in the past for like our old, I feel like there's people who've done like Roku like SDK wrappers to make it Roku okay, but I feel like I think we've had a couple of customers who are in the media space who like would like all OTT like apps available or like ability to test, but yeah.
It's hilarious. I had no idea that Roku had its own OS.
Yeah.
Good for them. I mean, that's crazy to have to deal with, like as an operating system to have your own, but like kudos to you, Roku. And then we got lots of other stuff in here, some other ones per project permissions. So right now permission stuff is all organization based, and so we have organizations and then projects within organizations and then features and variables. Like we have many layers here, and so some of that stuff, linear stuff, custom roles and permissions. Obviously you can tell that we're a SaaS company that focuses a lot on the enterprise space. So but you don't need to be enterprise. You get access to almost all of these features just by being part of the platform. And so that's what's great, I think, about us, is you're not having to suddenly pay like a huge amount of money to access these features. You're literally just getting a lot of these by being part of that. Now, I think some of the organization stuff like permissions is the exception there, but a lot of the things that we're talking about today, you'll be able to get just by signing up for an account. So so many things in here.
One of our clients prospects or companies that are interested in DevCycle, who's going to start a POC kind of soon. One of the team members actually used DevCycle for a personal project, and so they had experience with the platform before. They kind of brought it to their team too. We actually have a good amount of like kind of personal projects too within like DevCycle, just individual engineers who use it and test it out. And then it's kind of a cool way to get a feel for a platform without having anything gated, which is kind of uncommon a lot of the time within some other feature flag providers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you can see too, like this system actually also tags when we're looking to work on things. So stay tuned there, give us feedback. Speaking of feedback, where can you find us? Well, it's been scrolling at the bottom of your screen this entire time, but it is let me just load it up here. Then I'm gonna need to unshare and reshare. It is our Discord server. It's updating. Never do a thing live on stream before checking that it actually works. All right, come on, Discord. Downloading update 1 of 1. So this is the perfect time while this loads up for me to explain the giveaway. So if you're here on stream, if you're watching right now and you're like, Andrew, I would like to know about this giveaway. Well, every stream that we do for Feature Focus, we know we're just talking a lot about us. And so we want to reward you for sticking around to hear stuff about us. And so if you are in our Discord, and you can get there by going to that bit.ly. Oh, it's not at the bottom. Oh yeah, it is at the bottom of the screen. That bit.ly/DevCycle Discord. If you go over there and you at either Kate or myself, and I'm Andrew M. And then there's Andrew N is the other one. And he's not me. I'm Andrew M or Kate. At us and just say, I want to enter the Discord giveaway. We will enter you in for a chance to win a $20 gift card that we'll send to you. It's good anywhere in the world. I think I can share now. I think Discord is working. Let's see. It is. All right, let's pull this over to my other screen. Let's full screen that. You'd think after using Mac for as long as I have, I would have figured out Windows stuff. I'm so happy that Snap is coming to the next Mac OS. So if you go over to our Discord, you can find all of us. We're under the DevCycle team. So this is me, Andrew, with this yellow thing here. You find Kate, all the rest of our team in there as well. Just at one of us, and you can enter for a chance to win one of these gift cards, and we'd love to give it away. So please jump into Discord, join us over there, and at one of us, and let us give you some free stuff.
Yeah. If you do end up using DevCycle and like have any questions, our response times are A1. Like they're very quick, and we're always in Discord. So in lieu of a Slack channel or dedicated channel, like the other providers, we're always here to answer questions too.
Yeah, so what's great is like speaking to that. So if you ask any question here in our forum, it immediately feeds through to our QA Slack that exists on our corporate Slack. And so you put something in here, it's getting seen by our entire team. So we can support you and kind of jump in here. And so I think that's what I love about, the fact that we have this community is just that it's a place for you to get support in real time, and not just relying on sort of other community members, but also like getting actual real-time access from the team. And that's with any level of account. So it's not like you have to have a paid account to get access to this support. Like we want to help you because anything you do helps other people, and maybe eventually down the road you'll need some of our other features, and it's a thing that's going to be available for you. So check us out, join our community, bit.ly/DevCycle Discord. We'd love to see you over there. Because we're nothing if we don't have our community. So let's see what we went through today. What did we get so far? So we talked about our web debugger. We talked about our open feature multi-provider. We talked about our marketing site sandbox demo. We looked at our product roadmap. We talked about some things that we're really excited about. We did our Discord giveaway. What do we have left, Kate?
I think that's it. I'm trying to think. I think that was everything.
Every time, just so you know, out there in the internet land, every time we do one of these streams, I think either Kate or I are just like, it's been a light week. We're not going to have very much to talk about. And then we're able to fill an hour. So obviously, we've got a lot to talk about. And that's because we've also got all of you contributing to conversations, both live and sort of through these different channels. And so thank you, everybody, for being in chat. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, everybody, for using our platform, for being part of the open feature community. Like, however you came into us, thank you for just being you. Make sure that you do come over to our Discord. We'd love to be able to say hello to you over there. And I think most importantly, enjoy the long weekend, because if you are in North America, this is your long weekend. For the States, is it this weekend or is it next weekend? So
it's kind of the entire week. I swear they take it all off.
I think so. I think this is going to be a week of nobody being able to interact with anybody in the US. Yeah, because we've got Monday is Canada Day here in Canada, just like it's a Canadian company. But we have some US folks as well. You're from the US as well, right?
No, I'm from Toronto. Actually, I live in Toronto, but I'm from Calgary, so I'm Canadian.
Oh, West Coast.
Emma?
So Emma?
She has dual citizenship, yeah.
Yeah, Emma. We got a couple of people that have dual citizenship.
Well, Andrew N does.
Andrew N does as well.
Yeah.
And now one of our engineers is actually based in the US. And so we have, obviously, on Wednesday, Wednesday or Thursday is going to be the 4th of July in the US, and so holiday week. So if you're celebrating this weekend, happy Canada Day. If you're celebrating this Thursday / the 4th of July weekend, happy 4th of July weekend. And yeah, if you are wanting more of us today, if you want to see some live code, I'm going to be back here in about 10 minutes with Does It Toggle. We're going to be looking at Ember.js. We're going to be looking at the multi-feature provider. We're going to be looking at open feature. It's going to be a riot, or at least it's going to be a thing. We're going to be on for another 2 hours. So please come back in 10 minutes. Go have a washroom break, get some coffee, get some tea, get some water, and prepare yourself for an afternoon of coding shenanigans here at DevCycle HQ. Kate, final word to you for our stream today, for our awesome viewers out there.
No, thanks for tuning in, and don't blow yourself up with any fireworks this weekend. Be careful.
That is the advice. And if they want to catch, we got to finish off the same way we started. If they want to catch House of Dragon, where can they watch that, Kate?
I'm like at my house. But yeah, I feel like it's on great, but it's on Sundays at 9, so I'm excited.
There you go.
Tune in.
Tune in. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you here in 10 minutes. And otherwise, we'll see you around the DevCycle community. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Don't go in there. They're having the let's try to figure out what customers want meeting again. It's gotten a little weird.
Signups are strong, but adoption of key features remains stagnant. What do you do?
We gotta merge that PR. Yeah, we have to. That's our only choice. Okay. We cast merge on the PR for the new dashboard.
Your actions have caused the company to go viral for the wrong reason.
God.
Oh no, what do we do?
Roll for initiative.
I can't.
New features shouldn't be left to a roll of the dice. Use DevCycle to ship with low risk and instant rollbacks. Unrolls, rerolls. How do we make this into a dice pun?